Hi there, science fans. Welcome to another Science and Other Stuff for Senior Citizens video. This video was uploaded to YouTube on January 1, 2022. Happy New Year! And describes our present understanding of the infectivity and hospitalizations due to the latest known COVID-19 variant named Omicron. This video also strongly promotes getting vaccinated and boosted to reduce hospitalizations and death. A booster shot is recommended because of the known decrease of neutralizing antibody with time after initial vaccination. Vaccination is recommended for those who have recovered from a COVID infection and for those who are unvaccinated because we know that vaccines reduce hospitalization and death from the Delta variant. At present, although Omicron is rapidly replacing Delta as the predominant virus in the U.S., Delta is still a deadly presence in our country. This slide indicates the timeline of Omicron's presence in 3 countries. Omicron was first detected in South Africa and has since been found in almost every country around the globe. Presently, Omicron is the predominant COVID variant in South Africa, displacing the Delta variant. At present, approximately 80% of new cases in the UK and the United States are confirmed as being infected by the Omicron variant. It is projected that Omicron will overtake Delta in these countries in the next 3 to 4 weeks. So South Africa has been a sentinel for predicting how the pandemic will behave in the U.S. and the UK. This slide presents recent pandemic data coming out of South Africa. Panel A clearly describes the 4 waves of the predominant variants that have occurred in South Africa. Delta was mostly responsible for the 3rd wave, occurring in early, mid, and late 2021. In mid-December of that year, the 4th wave of confirmed daily cases were caused by the new Omicron variant of COVID-19. It is 70 times more contagious than the Delta variant, and early data indicate that it is not as pathogenic as Delta. Pathogenicity is related to the number of hospitalizations and deaths resulting from infection by Omicron and Delta. Panel B shows the number of South African cases and deaths associated with infectivity by Delta and Omicron. Delta was very contagious and deadly, while Omicron is highly contagious but appears to induce much less of a pathogenic response, that is, reduced numbers of hospitalizations and death. This slide indicates the title and authors of a journal manuscript presently undergoing peer review, which suggests the reasons for decreased hospitalizations and deaths in Omicron-infected South Africans. As we know, one result of infection by COVID or vaccination is the induction of an immune response that produces neutralizing antibodies as well as memory T and B cells. The T cell response includes production of killer T cells as well as induction of other T cell types, while the B cells are responsible for the production of neutralizing antibodies. We also know that the effectiveness of the neutralizing antibodies decrease with time after infection or vaccination. This is the reason for the need of a 3rd booster shot. The authors of this paper showed that the T cell response remains robust against Omicron and may be responsible for the observed Omicron-induced hospitalization and death rates. This slide shows the data from the United Kingdom during similar time frames. The UK detected Omicron a few weeks after South Africa did, and the response appears to be following the patterns described earlier for South Africa. During late December, 80% of the new cases tested positive for Omicron, indicating the rapid spread of this variant. While the cases rose rapidly, deaths due to Delta and Omicron appeared to be leveling off, suggesting that Omicron was behaving in a similar way in the UK as it did in South Africa. Of the patients admitted to the hospital, many were of unvaccinated individuals and those who are considered incidental cases. That means many patients were admitted to hospital because of some other health issue and were tested while there and found to be positive for Omicron. They were not there because of Omicron infection. The next 4 slides are data from the CDC showing U.S. COVID cases hospitalizations, and death. It is suggested by healthcare officials that the United States is around 3 to 4 weeks behind South Africa. At present, around 80% of the new cases in the U.S. are attributed to infection by Omicron. Since Omicron is so much more infectious than Delta, we should expect a large number of reported cases in the next few weeks. Since about 40% of our population is unvaccinated, we will see a large number of new hospitalizations and deaths, even though it appears that Omicron is less pathogenic and deadly. A small percent of a very large number is still a very large number. So far, the symptoms of breakthrough infections of the vaccinated and boosted are mild, and many do not require hospitalization unless they have underlying health issues, especially those arising in immunocompromised patients. At present, there is a paucity of data describing the influence of comorbidities and Omicron infectivity. Being an older person, I'd like to know the response of the aged, vaccinated, and boosted individuals to Omicron. This slide shows U.S. hospitalization data. This slide shows U.S. death data. This slide shows hospitalization due to different age groups. The 60 to 69 and the 70-plus groups are among the highest hospitalized groups. These data mainly represent the pathology due to Delta. In summary, Omicron is highly transmissible, approximately 70 times more infective than Delta. As of this date, Omicron has displaced Delta as the predominant variant in South Africa. Omicron makes up around 80% of the new infections in the UK and the US. Delta is still present in our country, so it is highly recommended that the unvaccinated get vaccinated and boosted. Omicron is a great danger to the unvaccinated while inducing rather mild breakthrough responses in the vaccinated and boosted. The good news is that hospitalizations and deaths resulting from Omicron infections are greatly reduced in the vaccinated and boosted individuals. After a few highly infectious weeks, the U.S. hospitalization and death data are expected to resemble the recent South African experience, perhaps resulting in a transition from a pandemic to an endemic. If you like this video, please click like. If you have not subscribed to this channel, please click the subscribe button and ring the bell to be informed of upcoming videos. Stay safe and get vaccinated and/or boosted. If you have any questions or comments, please leave a comment or email me. Thanks. Bye.